Yes, guys, it's Louis the Reporter. Massive face-off today. Can't wait for it. 5 days until you two go at it. Bare knuckle,
Mm.
no gloves this time. Just absolutely ripping each other to shreds. We've got Jack Fincham and Aaron Chalmers. First of all, Jack, I want to start with you. I've actually been to one of your fights. Back in March it was. How you
Mm.
been since then? And yeah, how's
Yeah,
training been?
I'll be honest. Yeah, I think I said this to you before, didn't I, Louis? You've watched one of my fights. I weren't happy with my own performance. Even down to like the shape I was in. It just, cut corners, things like that. Obviously, it went down as a BK pro and box rec, but there was 4 ounce gloves there. There was some protection, and then going to that show where I see you last. Sit with Aaron, seeing his hands for a start, right? And you know what I'm talking about. Seeing that, right? I've had to, I've had to sort of really switch it up and put 110% into like the last 10 weeks because no matter what you say, like this fucking that what we're doing is no joke. It is no joke. Like, and what I mean. I think, and fight week reality hits you. You're spending a lot of time on your own. You know what I mean. You're doing certain things to be on weight. Making sure you haven't cut any corners and you're really thinking in your own head and like yeah, it dawns on you that you've got to have put 100% in, and this time I really do feel like I have, and I'm going to be um, the Jack Fincham of old, the one that I should have been a few years ago.
Yeah, no, cool. You can see you've put, 110% in.
Mm.
Compare your body now to the,
Yeah,
the, the Love Island, the dad bod's now finally
yeah.
gone.
I went down. That went down a treat though. The birds loved it. No. But yeah, I mean,
Fucking hell, Louis, Jesus, what you got coming for me?
uh, but nah, but yes, that's what I mean. Like just the difference in shape. I mean, look, you got to be honest. I mean, even I've seen Aaron's fights. He always looks like an athlete. I, my last fight, it just looked like a couple of geezers in a car park. To be honest, you know what I mean. And so I, and I know I can get into athlete shape, and that's what I've had to do. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, it's out of respect for your opponent and out of respect for what we're doing here. You know what I mean? This is a serious level of fighting. This is a higher level fighting, and you've got to be a high performing athlete to be getting in there and doing this in every way. And even condition your body, what you're putting into it. No little like before I'd be like, that little. Oh, can I get away with doing that? Me and Aaron have actually spoke about this privately. We spoke about previous accounts, where you think, oh, can I get away with doing that this far in? And you know what I mean? There's been none of that this time, and it's been head down and just fully focused on the job.
Of course, of course. And Aaron, yourself as well. You've been putting in the work. I know you was actually last on Bkfc.
Mm.
5th
Yeah,
of April it was. Great TKO win. How you been since
yeah.
then?
Yeah, really good, really good. Obviously the bare knuckle in April. I'll be honest with you, I was nervous a bit more than I normally would be because I hadn't fought for 18 months and it was bare knuckle. So it's like it was the unknown to me. Like I'm not a person that has been out and I couldn't say, oh, I've had fucking 10 fights on the street because I haven't. I'm not that kind of person. So I was thinking, oh fucking hell. I just didn't know what to expect. But like Jack said before, as soon as that bell rings, like I can't even remember getting hit. Do you know what I mean? I had a cut on my head and that, but you just don't remember it until like a few hours later or the next day. So I've been good. I've been in the gym, so I feel good. We've moved up a weight. Thank God. I think the cutting the weight to 75s was just them days are going to be gone for me now.
I'll be honest. Even when I saw you, I thought, how is he doing that?
Do
Do
you
you
know
know
what
what
it
I
is?
mean?
Like I had nutritionists for years, Jack, but that fight was given by the time we signed the contract, it was like 5 weeks, and I was thinking,
Ah,
fuck.
yeah.
Hell. So it was quite a drastic weight cut, and I just felt like it just took it out my face and stuff. And I just thought, I don't need to keep cutting this weight.
Mm.
Like I'm 38 now. I don't need to keep going down. There's plenty of fights at 79. Fucking obviously we're at 88, 178, 81 or just under
Yeah,
81.
it's at
So
80 point
there's
something.
plenty of fights around these weights where I don't need to kill myself anymore.
Mm.
Obviously, it was good to come back, get the win against Chaza. Quite experienced, but
Mm.
to be honest with you, I thought I just busted in there. I don't think there was one point where I felt or even looked under pressure. I felt like I just controlled everything and we got the win.
Mm.
Yeah, of course. Yourself, Jack. Why
Mm.
was bare knuckle something you wanted to kind of approach? Actually, did they approach you? You approached them, but why did you actually want to fight on there?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It don't matter how it comes about really, because it's you getting in there. But like for me, I I have to always be challenging myself and have something to work towards. Otherwise, I'll just fall to pieces. To be honest, if I'm being straight with you, I'll fall to pieces. And but me, 100%. And when I'm working towards something that's big, I mean, this for me is a huge moment. This is a massive
I mean,
moment. And
we're co-main event on the zone on a Saturday night is doesn't
this
get
is
much
what I'm
bigger,
saying.
does it? It
And
doesn't
do
get
you
much
know, and
bigger.
Aaron, I can say this to you, and it winds me up, to be honest. People, when people go out, you got the odd armchair knob going, oh, look, a
Yeah.
couple of influencers. Mate, you're a seasoned fighter. I've been fighting for years. That annoys me. We're co-main event on the zone. That's huge.
Yeah,
That is
huge.
huge. Like that, some people's dreams. That was my dream of mine, to do stuff like
But
this when I was a
you'll
kid.
never get criticised. What I always think with it online, you'll never get criticised by people. Very rarely that have done what we have
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
What they did. It's
yeah.
always people that couldn't fucking knock the skin off a rice pudding that have got the most to say. Unfortunately, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just yeah. But the reason I just like to challenge myself, Louis. Like, and I think that you know, getting it is getting it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There's been times where I've had, even when I've been younger, I've been smashed around the head with things and things like that. And it's like, right, okay, cool. I didn't die, so I'm still here. Like, you know, it's the same principle. You're holding your hands up, you're avoiding shots, and you're trying to hit the other person. And I'm pretty sure boxing started with no gloves on, right back at its origin anyway. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just thought it's something I've got the ability to do. Um, I've I've put 110% into it, and challenge yourself. This is what life's all about. Because I'd rather say that I was brave enough to go and do it than to go, oh, not really for me. And this is one thing I'll say about anyone that gets in the ring at any level, no matter what they're doing. It takes a big pair of bollocks to get in there. A big old pair of bollocks. Whether you're fighting in a sports hall in front of 10 people, or what me and Aaron are about to do in front of like 7,500 people, 10,000 people. You know what I mean? It takes a big old pair of bollocks.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it come at the right time in my life, and I just like to continue, challenging myself and just seeing what I'm made of.
Well, so you mentioned the challenges leading up to the fight. What has been the biggest challenge? You've got the stamina and the training. You've got waking up early every day. You can't just go
Yeah,
and get, some chicken from KFC, anything like that. So the
don't even
dieting as
talk about it,
well.
Louis. Because I honestly, mate, was mates a minute ago. Even you mentioning that winding me up. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, talking. If you're talking about this camp in particular, yeah, there's this. It's Aaron and I am so the whole thing is it's challenging, and but it's not just the physical, because the physical bit is, you can do it. You know what I mean? It's the mental. It's the mental. And for me, like, it's always the mental challenge. You know what I mean? It's like, and sometimes you have inner demons, didn't you? Where you're like arguing with yourself. Can I just about get away with this? But it's not even about taking other stuff. I'm talking about food now. If you can't control what's in goes into your body, you got no hope. And I think for me, like I said, it's just come at the right time. And yeah, just the small for me. It's always the mental challenge, because I make things bigger in my head. I you know struggle. I've struggled in the past with decision making, but I think this for me was the right decision, and I've done it all properly.
Of course. Aaron, for you as well, biggest challenge in this camp. You've been in a similar situation fighting, well, training for the Bkfc in April, but biggest challenge in this camp.
I think every camp's a challenge, isn't it? Like there's different. Obviously, every fighter brings a
Mm.
different thing. Like the thing is with Jack, obviously I moved up a weight, moved up a little bit and more. And no matter what anyone says, you've got a man 20 years boxing experience at that weight who can punch. So Jack's going to punch a lot harder than Chazak because we've moved up 6, 7 kilos. So that's one thing I've got to take into consideration, knowing that the shots coming from Jack, who's boxed for 20 years, will be a lot heavier than Chazak. Um, But it's always like you see, it's the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Like your friends, you're missing nights out, you're missing. I mean, I don't drink really anymore anyway, but there's always like, I'll just have one pint. Oh, it's 8 weeks away. I'll have a. So it's everything. And I'll speak for me and Jack here. Probably like the last few years, I think because of our backgrounds on TV, when we have meltdowns and fallings apart, it's in the press, which
Yeah.
then gives us online abuse 10 times more than your average man who has a meltdown behind closed doors. So when we're not only dealing with stuff that gets put in the press, trying to battle what the press are saying and people online, you're also battling thinking, well, I've got to fight another man. So I do think this is why me and Jack get on, because we've been in situations over the past few years where, yeah, we haven't probably done the right things. But listen, we've been given opportunities to be on one of the biggest stages, not just in the UK, in the fucking world. We both can fight. Like I see a lot of these face-offs. I don't hate Jack. I've got not a bad word to say about him other than he's in the way to a place that I want to get to, and I would say vice versa. The winner goes on to hopefully bigger and better things. I think the loser takes a couple of steps back, but I still think there's a big careers for both of us. But like I say, every day is just a challenge in itself, because you're fucking fighting bare knuckle. You're always in your own head thinking, like, what the fuck am I doing? It's not normal. It's not normal. Do you know what I mean? And you can have a bad session at the gym and come home and think, oh, nah. It's like one bad session can ruin a week, but then one good session can make the week. So it's a constant battle in your mind. But listen, we put them to one side. This will be my 14th fight, and I've battled these things all the way through. So hopefully on fight night, we'll put everything to a side and get the job done.
Course. And Aaron, same goes with Jack. You're actually friends. You know, you
Yeah.
speak before this. You were speaking as well.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say. I've never been into all that just shit talking anyway. I find it cringy. But the thing is, me and Aaron, I've actually spoke to the geezer for years.
Years, yeah.
You know, on and off. And even there's been times we've spoken. I've actually asked for advice on things and things that. So there's no hatred there. But why it's an interesting fight, and why I think it's going to be a great fight, because there's a lot of eyes on it, and as you just said, you know, there's all to play for here.
And we can both. I think we can both fight to a high level.
Yeah,
I think we can
fighting
both
at such
have a
high
very
level
good boxing style. Sorry, Jack. Sorry, say that again.
I said we're fighting on as you said, probably one of the biggest fighting platforms in the world. But I sometimes find that if the two people get on, it actually makes it more interesting, because you'll see how it's a sport, and you're not friends in that moment. You're doing everything you can to win, because as you said, you're looking at that person as an obstacle.
Yeah.
And there's something about sharing a ring with someone, spilling blood with someone. It's a mad old feeling after. Have you never seen like these them old rivalries to get put to bed and stuff? It's a mad feeling, and I feel like this is like proper gladiator style stuff. And yeah, and I just think that both of us, you know, however the outcome is, this is going to open up some doors, because this isn't going to be a one. It's not one side. This is not going to be one sided, because there's attributes both ways, and I think we both bring a lot to the table. So I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. And I think, as I said, maybe we'll take a couple of steps back, but I also think it's going to open up a lot of doors. And I think a lot of people are going to be proved wrong, especially more so from my side, because I've had a look. I think I'm 80%. I think only 80% of people are saying you know, Aaron's gonna beat me. I disagree with the numbers, but yeah, I think it's going to open up a lot of doors.
I think that's probably only because of my active, like how active I've been over what you've been. But listen, I've never once said, like, I can tell watching Jack's fights that the man can box. I remember seeing him at Ben Davison's back in the day. I think I was down at Adam Booth's.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we've been around. Like my coach at the minute, I've been with my coach for fucking years, on and off, even through my MMA. And we know that Jack, like, he's got 30, 20, something or whatever amateur pedigree. So you know for a fact he's going to have the basic, very good base of boxing. And that is very dangerous in a bare knuckle fight. Very, very dangerous. So I have a lot more to worry about, I reckon, than Jack's got to worry about me. So, like I say, it's going to be a very, very stylistic match. Like, it's not just going to be, there'll not just be haymakers and swinging from out of range. It's going to be a very technical boxing match. And then I think,
And
let's
that's
go.
and I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that's because you know the damage from either side it's gonna do. You know what I mean? And also two people that know how to box, you know that you go in swinging, you have to throw shots to get hit. So if you go in doing that, that's when someone that knows how to box, that's when you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
That's when you're gonna get caught if you go in doing that shit, which I've seen happen loads of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that. Yeah, it's a really, really good point. Really good point. It's not going to be like just some mad thing. Like that's why I'm saying, and I love that you said that. I love that you give it like because I'm buzzing that we're fighting on the stage that we're fighting on. That's why I want to put on a show, and I think it's going to open up a lot of doors, and I think it's going to shock a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Guaranteed.
Of course.
Mm.
Aaron, can I start with you?
Yes.
3 words. What, the fans can expect because this fight, obviously, you're both from reality TV backgrounds. So I'd say it's got the most interest. You've got the main event, but you've got the most following on both of you on the card. So 3 words those fans, your fans can expect. Why should they buy the pay-per-view?
It's not going to be,
5
it
days
won't be
time.
I've, I-
3 words.
I've got more than
I've got
three.
more than 3. But can I go?
Yeah, no, go on. Anything?
Forget reality TV. This fight has got fireworks written all over it. And that's all I need to say.
Mm. Exactly the same for me. This is no influencer fight. This is a professional, high level fight. Fuck the TV. Expect style and expect fireworks, man. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait to get in there. I want to get this fight week out of the way now, and then get the job done.
Okay, we're gonna get a prediction from either of you, or you. Well, because anything can happen with Bkfc, but anyone got a prediction or?
Go on, Jack. I'll let you go.
Look,
Listen,
all
you,
I'm gonna, I,
go
I,
on.
I'm going in. Look, I wouldn't have took this fight if I weren't 100% confident. But I am 100% confident that I can go in and get the job done and get my hand lifted. That's all I'm gonna say. I've put. I know myself as well, and I know what I've done in the past. And I've watched back fights. I watched one of them, who was on the Mayweather card. I knew what I was doing in the build up to that as well. You know what I mean? And I thought so. But now that's gone, there's a different version of me, and I think that version is dangerous.
Good. That's what I want. I want the most
Of course,
dangerous version.
because there's no point me sitting here in it, Aaron, and going, oh yeah, yeah, I was eating, I struggled to
Yeah.
make the weight, and I was taking drugs, because then that takes the credibility away from you. Like I have put 100% into this.
My prediction, I personally think I've moved up a weight. I'm punching very, very hard. And I think if I do catch Jack, it could be over. But the main thing is getting the hand raised in any way possible.
Mm.
I love it. And last question as well. I know the answer to this, but after the fight, um, whatever the result is, are we gonna see you two sitting down having a Chinese Big John style? Finally breaking that diet what you've been having in camp.
You know what?
Cheesecake. Cheesecake. I will happily sit down with a cheesecake. That's me go-to after a fight.
I'll be honest, mate. I'll eat anything. You know what mine? You know what mine is? Pizza. So I'd love to sit down and have a pizza and a cheesecake with a man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's a deal. That's 100% deal. We'll
I'll have
sort that
that.
out.
I'll have that.
Whether it be in the ambulance or it be in the hospital or it be
This
in
is
the
what I was
changing room.
about to say. If I could, that depends on what your favourite, what our
You might
faces
have
look
to,
like.
I'll bring the kids blender just so we can blend it.
Yeah, it depends what our faces look like. But pizza and a cheesecake, you're on.
Yeah, that's a deal, mate.
I love it. Guys at BKFC behind the scenes, make sure you sort that out after the fight. It's like Derek with the 5 guys we need. A little
Yeah,
video
he
there.
was in the change room with it, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
good
cool.
to answer
Thanks
you,
for that,
Skip.
guys. I can't wait for it.
Sound.
5 days' time, these two will be smashing each other's face in bare knuckle, AO Arena. Get your tickets now.